So I'm just going to come out here and say this, but if you cannot recognize the information warfare that we're living in, the psyops that we're living in right now, then you're going to be confused beyond measure because you need a relationship with the Lord to get through this time. And I'm going to give you guys 3 examples. I'm going to give you some video clips, and I'm just going to illustrate to you that if you cannot see the obvious tactics of the enemy in this time and how he's been using this for many years for different people, different issues, different viewpoints, and you're not able to clearly see it by now, then you're going to be incredibly deceived as time goes on because it's just going to get thicker unless you step up as a Christian, unless you step up as a body of Christ to help combat this information warfare. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, it's not a joke that we are living in a time for which the devil is using information to confuse you, to bias you, to confound you, to get you to think in a certain direction. And so you have to recognize that. This is not an attack on your physical well-being. It's not a war, a conventional war. It may be in certain parts of the world. For the vast majority of society, especially in America, what we're living in with internet, with all of this data, the information access we have, it's an information psyops war, and you have to recognize that. Elon Musk, right, is right now going through a lot of different heat. There's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of people looking at him, reading his tweets. They're looking at what he's doing. And just you have all these different things coming out. So May 18th, he talked about how political attacks are going to escalate dramatically in the coming months. That same day, he announced that he was going to vote Republican. In the past, he had been Democrat. And then he says that the Dirty Tricks campaign would unfold against them. And lo and behold, what happened? The very next day, Business Insider, they released some articles saying that he had been accused of sexual harassment, that all of this attendant from Tesla and all these different things had come out, and that this was fact. And if this is not your first rodeo, you would see that a lot of important people, Trump included, with the Stormy Daniels thing, which had now been dismissed as utterly not true, many people are going through a time for which, because they're not able to discern, they're not able to look at a situation and say, man, look at the ironic timing behind something. Look at what people are claiming. Look at the sources behind it. Look at all of the attacks that are coming on somebody at that exact moment and not being able to recognize, is this actually true? Is it false? Is it allegation? Is it a hit piece? What is this? People just eat things up and they're able to take a look at this and not discern for themselves. And because the tactics have gone, the playbook essentially of what they're doing is so clear. It's been done over and over again for many people that now people are waking up, especially with somebody like Elon Musk, who has a very neutral, I would say, opinion among many people. He's not a politically charged guy for which people think, oh, I should dismiss him because he's left or right. Rather, because he's such an innovator, because he's been such a catalyst for driving technology and research and all these different things in society, bettering society, that a lot of people are looking at him and saying, oh, wow, now I can recognize what's going on from a political perspective. And so this example of what he's going through has been something that has always been there for a long time, and only now are people recognizing it. I'll give you another example. I'm going to show this video, and this video is showing what somebody is saying with regards to the definition of a woman. Watch.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
Now that was on the topic of abortions, about who women are. Now let me give you another video.
Do you believe in abortion after birth? Would you support that?
I believe in whatever the woman wants to choose to do, that's her choice.
At any point of the child's life?
At any point of the lady's life, that's her choice.
To kill another person's body?
It's going to always be her choice.
Even after the baby's born?
It's always her choice.
So if they're 2 years old?
It's always her choice.
I can kill my 2-year-old?
It's a woman's right to choose.
To kill their child at any point.
Woman's right to choose.
So I'm not going to break this video down, guys. A lot of you guys that are watching this and you have the same view of what abortion is, what a woman is, you know that there's something off about this. And I'm not here to bash any of these people or whatnot, but I'm telling you, the movement that Satan is driving right now is telling people, hey, this is okay, that's okay, this is your choice, and all this language involving a certain viewpoint. And people that do not have discernment, they're going to just eat it up and say, oh, I guess that makes sense. That should also be my ideology. This is how I should be thinking. That makes sense. I like this person, I like that person. And because those of us that have the clarity to seek and to understand to other people who are maybe younger, maybe they're growing through a way to process the world, because they don't have this discernment and the maturity, they're going to be taken and eaten alive because of this ideology. And so that's why right now, guys, you can't just be reading somebody's opinion, reading a couple articles, looking at some objective piece of news and say, oh, you know what, that makes sense. Business Insider, I'll just believe it. You have to get deeper in being able to discern what people are saying and then go to the Lord about it. And so I'm saying this because this is the scheme right now that the devil is doing. And he thinks you're stupid. He thinks you're dumb enough to be able to side with certain people and to look at something like an issue, like a hit piece, whatever you want to call it, and say, hey, this is the truth, believe me. But really what you have to do is no matter what quote unquote evidence, what anonymous source, or what document people think that they are contributing, you have to be very weary of that, because you've seen it time and time again, the Steele dossier, the Russia hoax, all of these other things that people say, hey, I have this evidence, but then later it's proven to be discredited. And so again, guys, I'm not here to speak for what's true or not as part of the quote unquote investigation that these guys have done, but you have to be very weary of the timing. You have to be very weary of the tactics of trying to take people down, to discredit people, to gaslight people, to look and form the opinion of somebody, a group of people, the general society, and all these people that have essentially been having a sheep-like mentality. And so you have to be aware of that. You have to pray against it, and you have to be able to step up and say, man, I want to advocate for the truth. It may look like I'm doing something political. It may look like I'm being foolish. It may look like I'm putting myself out there to be a laughingstock. But if you stand for the truth, then God is pleased with that. If you stand for something that a lot of people are you're going to get hate on, then God is pleased with that. And so I just want to encourage some of you guys, as we're looking at what's really going on, you have to wake up to Satan's devices. You have to wake up to the information warfare, the psyops that we live in right now. And so God bless you guys. Be encouraged. Talk to you guys very soon.